Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley. Today we've got Missouri high school baseball large school predictions. Now, we did not have a large school predictions video last Thursday, so the final scores that you're going to see on the video today are my predictions from 2 Thursdays ago. So let's jump straight into it with the Class 4 scoreboard from 2 weeks ago. Stratford over Clever 8-2. Harrisonville defeats Moberly 4-0. Logan Rogersville over Fairgrove 2-0. Warrensburg, man, they're hot right now. 9-6 over Excelsior Springs. North County defeats Potosi 3-2, and Helias over Camdenton 6-2. Here's the Class 4 scoreboard for this week. We'll start off with some Tri-County Conference action. Boonville versus Southern Boone. I will take the Eagles in this one on the road. They've got 5 straight wins against Boonville. A plus 5.5 run differential this season. We've got them in the top 10. Logan Rogersville versus Branson. The Wildcats just took their second loss of the season yesterday, and that was to Branson. They've got back-to-back games here, like a little home and home. A lot of conferences do that during baseball, but that snaps a 22-game win streak for Rogersville, highest in school history. I'm sure that beats most schools in the state as well. Insane having 22 straight wins, but that comes to an end to a Branson team that's sitting around 500, but they're still competitive. I will take Logan Rogersville getting their get back here. They're 5-4 in the matchup history since 2016, a plus 6.1 run differential. Eldon versus Sullivan. I will take the road Eagles here. This matchup history is split 1-1 in recent memory, dating back to 2024, so this is their third straight season playing. Sullivan right now, they're scoring 7.9 runs per game, and I think that ends up being big in this game where two pitching staffs that have been struggling so far this year, I think the bats are going to need to be active for either team, whoever wins this one, but I will go with Sullivan. Savannah versus Benton. This game's already happened, and Savannah won it. I think they win a second time. They are 19-8 against Benton, dating back to 2016. I think they make it 20-8 here. Both teams scoring nearly 8 runs per game. I think we could see a high-scoring matchup in this one. Harrisonville versus Warrensburg. I went back and forth on this one. It's a tough matchup for both teams. Both teams are ranked. Harrisonville is number 2 in Class 4. Warrensburg is number 9 in Class 5. I'm going to go with the Tigers here on the road. This is our Class 4 game of the week. Warrensburg is 11-3 in the matchup history since 2016. If there's a year to do it, it is this year with Harrisonville. Only 1 loss on the year. But right now, this is a big streak for both teams, and I think Warrensburg, they're looking hot right now. They're excited being in the rankings. I think they win this one. Mexico versus Moberly. I'm excited for this one. Mexico has the matchup history lead 16-11 since 2016. These two teams play a lot since they're in the same conference. I think this one will come down to the arms. The Mexico staff has been struggling somewhat this year. Moberly pitching lights out, allowing 2.3 runs per game. I will go with the Spartans here. Class 5 from this past week. Chaminade over Rockwood Summit 6-5. Kickapoo defeats Webb City 5-3. Farmington over Festus 5-0. Vianney over Marshfield 5-3. John Burroughs defeats Luther North 9-1. And Summit Christian over Van Horn 12-1. Here's the Class 5 scoreboard. Farmington versus North County. I got to go Farmington here. This matchup history is tied 8-8 since 2016. I think Farmington breaks that tie here and takes the lead. They're scoring 7.4 runs per game. We got them sitting around 15 in Class 5. Willard versus Neosho. The Tigers just lost their number 1 spot in Class 5 to Webb City after a head-to-head loss to the Cardinals. Still number 2. I think still in good position to win the state championship. They're 7-3 against Neosho since 2016. These guys are scoring 8.1 runs per game. I think they win out potentially. Camdenton versus Bolivar. This is an interesting one. Two pitching staffs that have been struggling this year. Bolivar allowing 5.8 a game. Camdenton allowing 6. Camdenton's got the matchup history lead 2-1 since 2022. I think they make it 3-1 here. It's just kind of this is one that's kind of tough to make a pick because both teams kind of struggling there on the pitching side. I will go with Camdenton, who's had some better wins so far this year. Fort Zumwalt East versus Chaminade, I will go with East, the home Lions. This is their first matchup listed on Misha. Zumwalt East right outside the top 10 in Class 5. They are scoring 7.1 runs per game. Chaminade a little cold right now. St. Dominic versus Father Tolton. I'm excited for this one. St. Dominic, they are on a 9-game win streak, and they've got 6 straight against Father Tolton in the matchup history, actually listed as 6-0 on Misha. I don't know further back in time if they played or not, but if that's the extent, they are 6-0 all-time against Tolton. I think St. Dominic wins another one here, allowing 3.2 runs per game. We've got them at number 3 in Class 5. Carl Junction versus Nixa is our Class 5 game of the week. I'm pretty excited for this one. Nixa does have 9 straight wins on Carl Junction, but it's been a pretty good season for the Bulldogs. We got them at number 5 in Class 5. I think this one ends up being a pretty competitive game. I will go with Nixa, though, on the road. They're scoring 7.9 runs per game. Here's a Class 6 scoreboard from this past week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. Sorry, I said probably this past week on the Class 5 one as well. Howell over Hickman, 11-4. Liberty Winstville versus Timberland did not happen. Rain reschedule. Jackson over Rockbridge, 14-2. Lee Summit defeats Blue Springs South 5-4. Willard over Glendale, 8-3. And Staley takes the win over Liberty North, 8-2. And that rockets Staley into the number 1 spot in Class 6. Here's Class 6 scoreboard for this week. Marquette versus Eureka is where we will start off. They played last night. If you're watching this on time in Thursday, and they play tonight, Eureka's got the matchup history lead, 12-8 since 2016. I think they win this one as well, make it 13-8. The pitching staff, pretty good for the Wildcats, allowing 2.4 runs per game. Central St. Joseph versus Liberty. We've got Liberty at number 2 in Class 6 right now. They're looking good. They got 7 straight wins on Central, allowing 3.3 runs per game. I will go with Liberty. Liberty North versus Ray Peck. I will take Liberty North in this one. We've got them top 5. They've got 10 straight wins on the Panthers. Ray Peck, they're allowing 6 runs per game. That's just not going to do it for you against these top teams. Got to go with Liberty North at home here. Lafayette Wildwood versus Howell Central. I will go with Wildwood. They won 13-3 against Howell Central back on April 2nd. So 28 days ago, 4 weeks ago they played, and it was a run rule. The Lancers are scoring 6.3 runs per game on average. I think they get a really nice win here with a Howell Central team that's been playing pretty well recently. Glendale versus Francis Howell. I will take Howell. We've got him at number 6 in Class 6. This matchup history is split 1-1 in recent memory. And Howell, their pitching staff has been pretty good so far in Class 6. They play some pretty tough games, still only allowing 3.1 runs per game. Rockbridge versus Staley is our Class 6 game of the week. Staley, this is a really weird season for them so far. They started off 6-9. They now find themselves at 16-9, a 10-game winning streak off of a really big first place result at the Columbia tournament against some really tough teams, beating Howell twice. I believe they beat Hickman. They beat Willard in the championship of the Columbia tournament. They beat Blair Oaks in that one as well. I think that was the 5 wins. So after that 5-0 stretch there in 3 or 4 days in that tournament, they've been lights out. And I mean, it's like no looking back almost at this point. I skyrocketed them to number 1 in our rankings. I think they're about it this year. It was just a weird start because they lost so much from this past year. I think this team just needed to click, and they found it in Columbia. They're coming back to Columbia to play Rockbridge now on Saturday. I think they win this one. They got 5 straight on Rockbridge, who is ranked number 10 in Class 6. This is no easy game for the Falcons. That's all we got for today. I will be in Greenville, Missouri, down near the Boot Heel on Saturday. Don't know if I have a Friday game yet. I will get to work on that. But if I don't, Greenville, Boot Heel. That's a 3.5-hour drive for me, so I got to leave at 6 in the morning for a 10 o'clock game. I'm pretty excited about it, though. Haven't really done very much SEMO stuff on the channel, so I need to get more into that area a little bit, so hopefully that one kind of drives that case. This has been Missouri Sports Talk. We'll see you next time.